thank you, Attorney General Barr, for being here today and visiting with all of us. The special counsel's investigation and all of the ripples that came from the 2016 presidential election have really permeated the country. I mean, there's great interest in this, and as I'm touring the 99 counties of Iowa, I am asked about this at town halls and other interactions with my constituents just as much as any other issue at hand, and I'm sure many of the other senators here have had the same experience. And I'd like to start today by visiting with you about the actions of Russia during the 2016 presidential election. I think that's where a lot of us would like to see the focus go. We need to focus on what happened in the 2016 election and then look ahead and make sure we are safeguarding our practices. So I think it's natural to think of acts of aggression by a foreign state in terms of bullets, terms of bombs. That's what we typically thought of as acts of aggression. After all, up until just recent days, acts of aggression or warfare has been a symmetrical operation by a foreign adversary. In the past, it's been practiced by boots on the ground or various bombing campaigns. But that's not what we are facing today. And I do believe what we saw from Russia was an act of aggression. Other adversarial foreign states, not just Russia, but I think a number of colleagues have mentioned China as well, perhaps North Korea, Iran. We could go on and on. Not only do they practice direct hostile military action, just as Russia did in Ukraine with its illegal annexation of Crimea. But as was detailed in the special counsel's report, they seek to influence the elections of our free states through cyber means. And it is an objective fact that Russia attempted to influence our election. We know that, folks. All of us admit to that. We see the evidence that Russia tried to influence our election. The hacks, the disinformation, and social media cyber attacks by Russia were done with the intent to sow discord among the American people. Russia will show no hesitation. They have not in the past, they won't in the future, in using these types of acts of aggression in an attempt to undermine our elections process and our way of life. And it doesn't matter if the attack is coming from the end of a barrel of a gun or the click of a mouse. We have to get to the bottom of it. And so, General Barr, the past 2 years, we've been talking about this investigation in terms of what happened. And now we have the opportunity to decide how to do better. So the special counsel's report is the end of the road. I think many have stated that. The end of the road when it comes to the question of the Trump administration's intent, but it is just the beginning of the conversation on how we counter Russia and other foreign adversaries in their attempts to undermine our republic. So if we can talk about that 2016 presidential election, do you see vulnerabilities or weaknesses that existed at that time that left us open to foreign aggression, foreign influence in the election system? And then how do we move forward through the Department of Justice and making sure we're shoring up some of those avenues of approach of our foreign adversaries?
Yes. The FBI, has a very robust program, the Foreign Influence Task Force, which is focused on this problem and is working to counteract and prepare for the kinds of interference that we have seen. And it's a very dynamic program. I've been briefed on it by Chris Wray, and I'm very impressed with what they're up to. I think that the way I view this general problem is there has always been efforts by Russia and other hostile countries to influence American elections and public opinion, but it was more easily detectable, and it was sort of a cruder operation in the past. And what we have now is, with technology and the democratization of information, the danger is far more insidious. And it enables not only them getting into effectively our whole communication system here in the United States. And I mean just the way we communicate with each other and into our business systems, our infrastructure. But it also allows them to do exactly what we've seen, which is because of our robust First Amendment freedoms, they're able to come in and pretend they're Americans and affect the dialogue and the social dynamics in the United States in a way that they've never been able to do before. And it's a huge challenge to deal with it, but I think the intelligence community is responding to the challenge and the threat. I think I had this